Frankfurt traffic Airbus Alpha Sierra X-ray 320 taking off runway 25 center, departing straight out.
Hello, Simmers. This is your captain speaking, and this is the second of two videos on the FS Academy Jetliner add-on to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Going to be doing Jetliner 2 Takeoff today. I'm not planning on doing all of the bush trips from this series, but I may do one or two more after this. This should give you a good idea of how the Jetliner add-on works and whether or not it would suit the your needs in learning how to fly a jetliner. So far, I'm enjoying the bush trips. I've done the first bush trip, Jetliner 01 for the taxi out, about 3, maybe 4 times. And this is I think the third time that I've done the Takeoff bush trip. I think you may find you may be able to do this better than I have been able to, but I find that doing these multiple times helps me to get into the flow of things, and I do a little bit better each time that I try this out. So your experience may differ from mine, so we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see this video.
We're at holding point Alpha 2 for runway 26 left at Gatwick, just waiting for the cabin to call ready. Whilst we wait, let's review the takeoff profile. When we're cleared to line up, we'll perform the below-the-line actions and taxi onto the runway before coming to a stop. Once cleared for takeoff, push the stick forward slightly and set 50% N1 on the engines. This gives us an opportunity to check that both engines spool up evenly. Once the engines are both stable at 50%, set the levers into the flex detent, keeping your hand on the levers in case we have to stop quickly. Keep the nose down pressure on the stick until 80 knots, then smoothly set the stick to neutral. When I call V1, take your hand off the thrust levers, we can't stop anymore. Next I'll call rotate. You need to smoothly raise the nose to 15 degrees. Once we're off the ground, we'll raise the gear and we're on our way. I'll talk you through each step as we go. That's it. The cabin crew are happy that everyone's sat down and we're ready for takeoff. Let's call ATC. Jetliner 488 ready for departure.
Jetliner 488, line up and wait, runway 26 left.
Line up and wait 26 left, Jetliner 488. Runway looks clear, approach looks clear. Line up on the runway centre line and come to a stop.
We'll have to release the parking brake and then give a little bit of power to the jet engines to get started rolling. One thing I found that is if you are using any controls like a quadrant control or
as we enter the runway, turn on the landing lights and we'll finish the before takeoff checklist below the line. Below the line. Cabin secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector normal. TCAS TARA. PAX on. Anti-ice off. Below the line complete, line up only, runway 26 left from Alpha 2. Come to a stop here.
You may have just noticed the glass cockpit flickering there, going to black and then turning back on. That was what I was talking about a moment ago.
Jetliner 488 cleared for takeoff, runway 26 left, wind 270 at 8.
Clear for takeoff, runway 26 left, Jetliner 488. Great, we're cleared for takeoff. Apply some nose down pressure on the stick and set 50% N1.
If you're using any controls, you want to make sure that all of the switches are in the correct position, because the first time you use control from one of the controls, like I have the switch control here that I use for the gear up switch, if they're not in the right position the first time you switch something, all the other switches are engaged at that point, and if you have a switch turned off, it'll turn off within the flight simulator. I did this first time I did this when I went to gear up on this. I had the master and alt master battery and alt switch turned off. The avionics master turned off, and the plane just shut down and started falling out of the sky. I was able to rectify that fast enough to get it back in the air, but it was kind of a scary situation. All right, let's get going. We're going to go half the 50% for N1. Make sure the engines accelerate.
Engines look good. Move the thrust levers forwards to the flex detent. Thrust is set. Now release the nose down pressure on the stick. 100 knots. V1. Rotate. Smoothly raise the nose to 15 degrees. Good, now hold the nose there. Positive climb, gear up.
This time it didn't go off because I just turned the master switch
Engage
on
autopilot 1.
in the correct order. Autopilot 1. Remember where that's at.
Turn on the autopilot. Now reduce thrust to the climb detent.
Now it's just almost all done for this part. Almost.
Now that we're above S speed, retract the flaps. Disarm spoilers and taxi light off. In Alt Star mode, the autopilot will capture our selected altitude of 5,000 feet. The landing lights add a small amount of drag and vibration, so let's turn them off now that we're in the air and it's daytime. Release the crew by turning the seatbelt sign off and then back on again.
And that's about it.
great. We're on our way now and the crew are starting their routine. Next, we'll look at using the automation systems and cover the techniques used during the climb.
And that is all for the Jetliner 2 climb bush trip. And one of the things that I like about this this series, these two that I've seen so far, is that they're in small, manageable chunks. Just a few things to learn in each one of them that are fairly easy to accomplish. The most difficult thing that I found in this one was the rotate 15 degrees and keeping the plane straight and level. And but after 3 or 4 times doing that, that becomes a little bit easier. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, give me a like, and we appreciate your viewing. Come back and watch us soon. We'll have a couple of more of these videos from this series before we complete them. Thanks.